Good morning. I'm Janice, and I am teaching a shorter yoga class this morning. That'll be about 30 to 40 minutes. And my class is going to focus on joint mobility and maybe a little bit on strength, but mainly on joint mobility and on some slow yoga, yin yoga movements. So I'm just going to start with a very short piece. While we're sitting, we can sit in butterfly here. So just with our butterfly has a larger diamond. Our feet are further away from our body than in Baddha Konasana in traditional yoga. So where is my beautiful passage that I found last night? Here it is. This is from the Radiance Sutras, which is 112 gateways to the yoga of wonder and delight. Now, who could not follow into that promise? So I'm just going to sit in butterfly here and land a little bit in our class as my teacher, Pat Harada Linfoot and Jen want to say in my training. So I'm just imagining a magnanimous puppeteer is drawing my crown chakra, the very top of my head, up towards the ceiling. And my feet here, you can keep your heels together. And in butterfly, you can open out the tops of your feet so you can kind of read them like a book. But that's not necessary, but you can do that. And if you are find this challenging and uncomfortable, you could put a block or something underneath your thighs, any height, just to give you some support. All right, so here we are, and we're just going to be inhaling. We'll inhale, do some breathing into our belly, and then our ribs, and then our chest. So this is three-part breathing, and it allows us to really expand our breathing pattern a little bit. And we will try and extend our exhalations a little bit longer, and this tends to allow you to develop deeper inhalations. So we'll just begin now with the counting. It's a bit crude counting, but there you go. It's how I organize it. So we'll inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and then exhale from the top down, like you're drinking a glass of water. So you're filling the glass, belly, ribs, chest, and then exhalation. And then filling the glass of water, and then exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And you want to feel, when you're inhaling, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3. Sorry, I lost count of my breathing. Oh well, such is early morning in winter. Okay, so inhale, hold, exhale. In, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. And now you just go on in your own breathing pattern, inhaling and exhaling, feeling the weight of your body on your sits bones and on your ankles, the outside of your feet, and you're still feeling that sense of axial elongation, that is the movement of your spine upwards from your sacrum right up into your head. The top of the axial spine is actually the bone in your ear. So you have a long way to go from your spine, from your sacrum, all the way up your axial spine to your to the top of your cervical spine and your ear bones. And I'm feeling a sense of release at this point. And of course, if your legs are sore, you can extend them out and shake them, or you can remain sitting. Yin yoga is about moving towards an edge of discomfort, and then perhaps moving back, and then returning to that edge of discomfort, not pain, but you should feel a little bit of discomfort in yin. And that is part of the yin practice that develops resilience. All right, so now I'm just going to put my hands on the outside of my knees, and I'm going to fold my knees up like a book, and then I'm going to sit back with a straight leg, and I'm just going to shake my legs out here. Good. Now I'm going to read a short passage from the Radiance Sutras, which should get us all jazzed up for the day, filled with joy and the anticipation of more joy in the day. So here it is. While I'm doing this, you can put a strap around your feet if that's comfortable. Otherwise, you can just walk your hands down your shins and with a straight back, and rest here for a moment and with a straight back, or and after you have a straight back for a moment or two, then just fold over in Paschimottanasana asana. All right, here we are. And here it's early in the morning for me right now, so I'm a bit stiff. So I'm not really pressuring my body in any way. I am just letting gravity help me move forward and down. And I am trying to move the crown of my head towards my feet. That's my effort here. So it's a movement of lengthening as well as moving towards your legs. So you just do what you can. This is not a competition with anyone else other than this is just you in your body listening to what it is that your body is saying to you. And you can drop your head here. And you're just breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And I'll read Sutra 32 from the Radiance Sutras. Strong or soft, wild or serene, wherever breath flows, there is song. Hear its whisper touching behind the face, singing in the throat, dancing spirals in the sanctuary of your heart. In this practice of listening, A moment may come when you just want to lie down. This is a doorway. Surrender. Fall into the wide open embrace of life. You are the instrument breath is playing. You are the instrument breath is playing. And now we're just going to roll up here. And I love that line. You are the instrument breath is playing. Now we're going to do some joint mobility work here. We're just going to wiggle our toes. I have quite long toes like my mother. And she has a hammer toe that my yoga, I think, is preventing, because I do a lot of toe exercises. I do a lot of expanding of the toes, drawing the toes away from each other, clenching my toes, pointing my feet, drawing my toes back. And here, what we can do is just bring our feet into an easy pose, which is just legs crossed in front of each other. And you can take your fingers and lace them through your toes. It's tricky, and that is a bit uncomfortable, but it gets easier with time and the more you do it. And now I'm just going to move my toes around here and feel with the movement of my toes and my fingers between my toes, I'm actually massaging my toes and feet, and I can stretch them up and I can draw them back. I can wiggle them around. I can really give them a lovely massage. I can massage my big toe with my thumb here and the bunion that's trying to form on my foot because I broke my ankle and my arch fell. Our bodies are just like a little archive of our history of mishaps and misadventures. All right, and now we're going to put our other that foot down. We're going to try threading our fingers through our toes. And once again, it may be uncomfortable. It shouldn't be painful, but it could be uncomfortable. And I would just keep working at it slowly. And here I'm just going to move our toes. You can also move your ankle around and your toes, moving them forward and back, giving them a real workout here. Good. And I'll move my ankle around in one direction and then in the other, making sure that my ankles are mobile. All right, and I'm stretching that leg out. We didn't do our ankle, so here I'm just going to hold on. I'm going to stick my fingers through my toes again in that quite uncomfortable act. And here I'm doing now this ankle is a bit wonkier than my other one, so I'm doing this quite gingerly. You test out your ankle and see how it's going. Good. All right, so our ankles. So we're going to go down on our back, and I will just demonstrate here. We're going to work some more on our lower body, and we'll do our toes, more of our toes in a while. And here's Ron. I'm happy. Ron, how are you doing?
Yeah, thanks.
So you can see me? Everything's fine?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to go down on our back and lift our feet up and our arms and do our lovely dead sheep pose. So one of the things that I learned, I've been taking various courses, and so the latest courses that I took are for osteoarthritis and osteoporosis, and a joint mobility course. And I took it at the Esther Myers Yoga Studio, which is in Toronto, and I trained there with Esther Myers when she was alive in the late 70s, early 80s. And we did quite a different kind of yoga. We did Iyengar yoga. But she was also being trained by a woman, Vanda Scaravelli, who lived this what seemed to me at the time an idyllic life in Italy. She was from a very famous musical family, and they summered in Switzerland. And Krishnamurti, the very famous wise teacher, Indian teacher, used to come and spend summers in Switzerland with them. And Iyengar, BKS Iyengar, who's at that point a famous yoga teacher in India, used to come to Switzerland to teach Krishnamurti yoga. And while he was teaching Krishnamurti, he started teaching the daughter, Vanda Scaravelli, who at that time was about 48. She began yoga at 48. And Vanda took BKS's yoga and transformed it with breath. So here we are. We're going to rotate our ankles around now. So the Esther's yoga mutated over time, and the principles of Vanda Scaravelli yoga include grounding, spinal mobility, and breath. So integrating all of those things. So here we're just doing our ankles. Now we're going to widen up. We're going to do our knees here. And with osteoarthritis, the key is movement. So the tendency is things stiffen up. We don't want to move them. But, you want to consult your doctor and make sure everything is okay. But movement is what juices up your joints and gives you all kinds of mobility. And now we're just going to straighten our legs. We're going to do some bicycles here for our hips and our knees. And we're just going to move, move, move. And I'm going to shake up my hands here. So, and the advantage of this dead sheep pose, which is this one, this is the Vanda Scaravelli dead sheep, is that we can really do our hands and our feet at the same time. And you can scrunch your feet up, you can scrunch your hands up, you can enfold your thumb and really press hard with your hands and with your toes. And then you can spread your fingers out and spread your toes out at the same time. Really spread them out. And then scrunch your toes up, scrunch your fingers up, and then spread them out again. And we'll do that a few times. Very nice. Now we're going to, you can draw your knees into your chest and rock around a little bit, just massaging your spine and giving your spine an invitation to move. This is a very mild movement. And you could put your feet down and then raise them up here and give yourself a little hug. And then put your feet down and raise them up and give yourself a little hug. And just rotate around your sacrum. Very nice. Now I'm going to put both feet on the ground and I'm extending my legs out. And I'm just going to give myself a very nice stretch here. Stretching one arm up and then the other arm and leg up, and one arm and leg up, and the other arm and leg up and down, sorry. And here I will begin to do what's called banana in yin yoga. And it's just simply, we'll start on the left side, and we're just extending our left arm up and our left leg down and over to the opposite side. So we're arching like a banana. This is called banana. And we are going to, we're extending over to the right side, and we're going to clasp with our right hand our left wrist. So we're drawing that top part of our body over to the side, and our feet are moving over to the same side, and we're going to lift up our left foot and cross it over our right. So that just extends that side bend a little bit further. And here we're just going to breathe here, remembering the invitation we had earlier with my reading, which I'll return to in a while, to imagine that our body is the instrument that our breath plays. I love that line. Our body is an instrument that our breath plays. And we're breathing into our side body, the side body that's open. And of course, yoga is all about the union. That's the word yoga means yoke or union. And it that connection between mind and body and between body and breath is really significant. My monkey mind is at play all the time, and it's difficult to slow it down. So when I work with my breath, inhaling and exhaling, and focus on my breath, my mind tends to become much calmer, much more integrated with my body. And now we'll let go of that. We'll come to just a neutral spine here, with our arms above our head and our feet moving away from us. And we'll just stretch the other side of our body. So in this case, this would be your right side of the body. You're stretching your right hand around, and your right leg around. You're moving your feet towards the left side, and you're clasping your right wrist with your left hand and drawing that arm further over to the side. And you can lift up your right foot and cross it over your left to increase the curve of that side bend. Now, anything that is happening in your body, it's your body. You are your own best teacher. You don't want to feel pain. You may feel some discomfort, and that's okay. And you will want to find what the edge of that discomfort is. You could move towards that discomfort, and then you can ease off, and you can move back towards that discomfort and ease off. You shouldn't feel any pain in your lower back. This should be, the stretch should be in, say, in your shoulder, in your arm, perhaps in your hip. And here we are. We're just curving into that that banana pose, and we are breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now we'll move back to a neutral spine here. We'll stretch one arm and one leg and then the other. And then we will raise our arms above our body and give ourselves an embrace. So we'll draw our hands around our shoulders and walk our fingers towards the spine. And then we'll open our arms up to the ceiling. And then we'll draw our arms around, giving ourselves a beautiful embrace here. And we are giving ourselves some gratitude for having the good sense to find the mat any time of the day to do these movements. They're very helpful. And we're going to open our arms out, and then we're going to clasp our shoulders again. And then we're going to open them out and draw our knees into our body and give ourselves, once again, a little roly-poly here. And we'll put our feet down. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a twist here. I'm just going to put my feet down and drop my knees towards the right and look towards the left. And then I'm going to lift my knees up and drop them towards the left and bring my knees up and go back and forth here. And you can have your feet quite wide on the mat, the edges of your mat if you like. And then when you drop your knees down, it's quite a movement, especially for the one that's moving to an interior rotation. And if you like, you could drop your knees down to one side and then press that hip up. So you're actually opening the hip flexor, which is at the front of your body. So we're just moving back and forth. And you can use your this as an opportunity to move your neck in the opposite direction. So we're just gazing at the opposite hand as we move our legs slowly back and forth. And we're just breathing, inhaling, and then exhaling. Inhaling, and then exhaling. Inhaling, and then exhaling. Good, we'll put our feet back and on the ground, and we will draw our knees in one more time, give ourselves a little spinal massage here, and then we will roll onto one side and press our arms into the ground and push ourselves up into a seated position. Now here we're going to do the infamous toe squat, which if you haven't done it is a challenging pose, but over time I can guarantee to you that it will become easier. And why are we doing this? Not to torture you. And in fact, as I said, the point about yin yoga, and this is a mobility issue around your toes that yin yoga addresses, and the point of it is to develop mobility in your toes so that you don't fall, because our toes are really essential to our balance. So here I'm just I'm spreading my toes out, and you want to make sure that your baby toe is actually being stretched here. So you might have to reach around and draw your baby toe up. And I'm sitting back on my toes. And if this is really painful, then, just come forward and you can kind of just lean back into your toes. Or you can do the full pose and sit back onto your toes. And here I'm feeling my chest rise up, and I'm balancing on my toes. You have to make sure they're in the right spot. So you might have to adjust them. And once again, it's about finding your edge. This might be it for you, and you might want to come forward, or you might want to stay for a little bit longer. So you decide what is good for you. If it's hard on your knees, do put something underneath your knees. Or you could lift your knees up and balance that way with your arms. And I'm breathing here. And I'm just going to do some arm movements just to distract me. I'm looking up at my thumbs, then I'm opening my arms out, and I'm pressing into the heels of my hands. And I'm looking up to my thumbs, and then I'm pressing into the heels of my hands. And I'm coming up again, and I'm pressing into the heels of my hands. And now I'm going to do a flick off here. I'm just clasping my thumbs and then flicking my fingers up very strongly, straightening them and flicking them up, and then bringing them down, holding really tightly my fists, and then flicking them up again and back again and flicking them out. This is what I call the flick off. You can flick off all of your cares and woes of the day, flicking them off. Very nice. All right, now we're going to come forward, and we're we're going to flap our feet on the ground, the tops of our feet, and just get them to relax here. Very nice. Now, we can come back here, and if you like, we can sit in a pose of your choice. There are many different seated poses in yoga, and they all do different things. So you could sit in, we've already been in butterfly, but you could sit in butterfly. You could sit in easy pose, which is just with your legs crossed in front of you. You could sit in fire log pose, which is with your feet, your legs one on top of the other. Or you could go whole hog or whole cow and sit in cow pose, which is your knees one on top of the other and your feet coming back. So you decide where you want to be. I'm going to do this one because I seem to be here. So, and we're going to do these little games, but they're very good for your hands. So here we go again. My hands are quite arthritic. So I'm just going to make a beak with my hands. This is a little game. And move my fingers up and down. So this is the beak, and this is the body, and then this is the flight. Flat hands coming up. So the beak, 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 beak. The body clutching into a fist, and then making that swooping flat movement, drawing your fingers back. Good. And then once again, the beak, the body, and then drawing the fingers back. Good. And the beak, and then the fist, the body, tight, tight, tight. Really squeeze those fingers around your thumb, and then swooping down with your fingers flat and moving them up. Good. All right, now shake your hands out. Now this one is even more fun. It's just a bundle of laughs this morning. So today, this one is, I think it's called the eagle or the hawk or some kind of quite potentially nasty bird. And the claws, here the claws, we're just making claws with our fingers and really clutching those claws in tight, as one is wont to do when you are an eagle or a hawk. And then the body, once again, we're going to, this time we'll put the thumb on the outside and we'll draw those fingers in and squeeze, 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 squeeze. There's the body. And then the attack of that hawk or the eagle is a kind of lion's face. So we're going to stick our tongue out, exhale, and make a sound. So, good. Okay, we'll try that again. So the claws, the body, and here we'll one more time. Claws, body, good. And that is a good. Now I'm going to move my feet in the opposite way. So the other, I'm exchanging one foot. So however you're sitting, make sure that you take the opposite position. And here we're going to just do the special magic ear exercise, which is a good one for your face. So we're going to look over our left shoulder, and we're going to remark to ourselves, we're going to notice what is the furthest object we can see in our peripheral vision as we look behind us. So just remark to yourself what that is. And now we're going to come back and we're going to massage our ear, this ear, and we're going to, at the same time, move our mouth and make funny sounds. So here we go. We're massaging our ear and we're moving our jaw around. And now we'll let that go. And we will once again turn our head and look to the other side and see if we can move our head around further than before and notice more of what is behind us, and then come back. And we'll do the other side now. We'll look towards, in this case, your right, and we'll look around. What is it that we notice in our peripheral vision? And then we'll come back. We'll massage our ear and make those waggle, 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 moving our jaw back and forth. All right, now we'll just give that us, and now we will look again around and see how much more mobility we have. And it works for me. Does it work for you? Possibly. I think, and it's really great. Actually, my friend, the person who taught this is Della, who teaches joint mobility, and she said that she taught a dentist once who said she was going to use that in her dental practice because it relaxes your jaw. So, all right, now we're going to stretch our legs out here. We're going to shake them out again. And we'll just do a little twist here. So we'll lift our foot up and twist around. And you can leave this leg out if you like, or you can bring it in. So you decide what you want to do. And we're just going to stretch up. We're going to stretch up quite leisurely here, pressing our back hand into the ground, stretching our leisurely up. I'm just wiggling my fingers here and looking up. And now I'm turning around and holding on to my my leg, or I'm using my hand as a lever too. And I'm pressing into the back, and I'm pressing into the ground with this foot, pressing into the ground. So I'm feeling grounded here. I'm feeling grounded with my foot, grounded with the bottom of this leg, and the side of my foot, and my tailbones are down. Now, my sit bones are down rather. And I'm stretching up and I'm turning at the waist. So the movement is from the waist when you're moving around. And we're rising up with every breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now we'll come around, press our fingertips into the ground here, and just do a counter movement, moving in the opposite direction. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling, feeling our body as the instrument of our breath. Opening and closing like an accordion, our ribs, and back again. And we'll stretch our legs out, and we will just lift up the opposite leg. In this case, it would be your right leg on the outside, and your foot is on the outside of your left thigh. You can either leave that leg extended or draw it in. And once again, pressing into the back hand. Very nice. And we are lifting up. If the left leg, if the right leg is up, it's our left hand that is lifting. And we're really rising up and looking up, and I'm making kind of an exaggerated lift here. And now I'm turning from the waist, and I am moving around, and I'm holding on to my my leg, or I'm using my arm as a bit of a lever here to turn me further around. And because I did the magic ear, my head is moving a little bit better. And now I'm coming back. There we go. So you just stay there for a moment. I'm just going to mute everyone, if I can figure out how to do that. Mute. Well, well, I can't remember how to mute, so you'll just have to be quiet.
Maybe we can mute ourselves.
Yes, mute yourself. That's great, Ron. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you. Okay, there you go. So here we are. So you can come back now from your twist, and we'll find ourselves once again in our neutral position. We haven't done our shoulders yet, so maybe what we should do is do just a few shoulder movements. we'll do standing on our hands and knees here. Cat and cow is excellent for spinal mobility. And we can use cat and cow. Usually it's just up and down into cat and then cow, feeling your sternum coming through your hands towards the front and your belly button dropping down. And then drawing your belly button into your spine and going back and forth. This is cow and this is cat. And then also, we can just use this as an opportunity for spinal mobility and really move in this posture. We don't have to sit still in it, and we can move our shoulders around. And so for our shoulder movement, we'll just do a very standard, lifting up and then exhaling and dropping it down. And we'll just leave that shoulder down there. And you can either draw that hand above your head or bend your elbow and draw it behind you, putting your flat back of your hand on your sacrum. And your sacrum is that flat part at the base of your spine. And we're breathing here. And we're just feeling the breath on the one side of the body. The ribs are open. We can imagine that they're opening like an accordion, and that our breath is playing our body like an accordion. And now we'll put our hand down and lift our shoulder up and then put it down, and we'll try the other side, just lifting it up. And of course, you can go back and forth through that keyhole if you like, and then up again a few times. And now this time we're going to just drop down through that keyhole, landing on our shoulder more or less, using our head as something to balance. We can use our hand here to balance, or we can lift that arm up and bend it back and put the flat of your hand on your sacrum. And we're breathing here. Once again, your accordion body is moving with your breath. One side of your body is very open, and you're breathing into that side body and into your chest and into your back body. And now we're lifting that arm up and we're pressing it into the ground, lifting up, and we're going to roll onto our back. So we're back. We might as well go into our dead sheets, one of my favorite new poses, the dead sheep, which is really reminds me of the wonderful moment in life when you think about purposelessness, abandonment, surrender, and just the looseness of your body. And I like to move my body around in this, just giving myself permission to just be that dead sheep of my imagination. I feel sorry for the actual dead sheep, but this, of course, is an imaginary mortality. All right. Very good. Now we're going to draw our legs into our chest again. We could, of course, bring our left foot into that figure 4 and open our arms up and just draw our legs in on their own. Or you can reach through the keyhole and clasp your shins or your thighs, whatever you can reach, and draw that leg in. You can that bent knee in, or you can use your elbow to extend the other leg out. So one knee is moving in and the other is moving out. And we're opening up the hips this way. And now we're going to just open our arms out and drop that foot to the floor. And here you can just let your legs fall to the floor. and look in the opposite direction. This is very good for your neck. We're breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now we're coming back and crossing the other leg forward in that figure 4, drawing that leg in and holding on to the shin or that the back of the thigh, and using that elbow to push out on this leg so that you're extending this one out while you're drawing this one in. And you're feeling it. You should feel it in your hips. It's a kind of hip opening movement, and a good one at that. And I like moving here. The rocking motion really, I think, develops a little bit more movement in my hip. And of course, if you feel pain, you want to come out of it right away. You might feel some discomfort, but pain is not where it's at. And now we're going to open our arms up, drop that foot to the floor, and then I just let my legs move into whatever pose they want on that side and look onto the other side. And we are really in a lovely twist here. So as the great Swami, whom I can't remember his name, once said, chronological age is meaningless. It's all about spinal mobility. So here we are. The fountain of youth is a side twist, apparently. And we're inhaling and exhaling, playing that accordion body. And we're bringing our body back into neutral, holding onto our legs. We can put our feet wide on the ground and just do a few windshield wiper here, allowing us to really relax. And now we're going to extend our legs out and our arms out. You could put a little blanket underneath your head to make your forehead, put your forehead above your chin, or you could just lay here, whatever is comfortable. You could also come and sit up for final relaxation. And I'm just going to invite you to surrender to this pose. From your forehead, let the skin on your forehead let go, and the skin on your scalp let go. Imagine that your ears, those massaged ears, are letting go. Your face is relaxing. Your jaw may be a bit open, and your tongue could fall into the lower part of your jaw. Your lips might be open slightly, and your neck is relaxing. Your shoulders, your arms and elbows, wrists and fingers, your chest. You're breathing in and out of your chest and letting that breath move your body into final relaxation. Your chest is relaxing, your ribs, all of your organs, your belly, your hips, your glutes, your back muscles, your legs, thighs, pelvis, knees, calves, ankles, feet and toes. Everything is relaxed. And you're imagining you're beside a creek on a spongy, mossy surface. And your body is just ever so slightly sinking into that moss. As your breath quiets you, And you're just breathing into your whole body. Go back to this Radiance Sutra. Strong or soft, wild or serene, wherever breath flows, there is song. Here it's whisper, touching behind the face, singing in the throat, dancing spirals in the sanctuary of your heart. In this practice of listening, a moment may come when you just want to lie down. This is a doorway. Surrender. Fall into the wide open embrace of life. You are the instrument breath is playing. You are the instrument breath is playing. And I'm just going to leave you in final relaxation, and you decide when you want to come out. And I'm going to see you next time. Sending you love and good wishes.